What you're about to see is a real-life story, taken from the files of the police racket and bunco squads, business protective associations, and similar sources all over the country. It is intended to expose the confidence game, the carefully worked out frauds by which confidence men take more money each year from the American public than all the bank robbers and thugs with their violence.
Captain Braddock, ready.
I call this case the long shot. Unlike most rackets, it had a humorous side, though it wasn't at all funny to the people involved. Our story starts with a little old lady.
Burning toast. I haven't done that in years. Burnt toast. Burnt toast. Max, Mrs. Kirby. Burnt toast at Belmont. What? A 20-to-1 loan shot? Oh, Max, that's wonderful. I'll lay 2 on the nose. Oh, you can't? Oh, Max, I know I owe you a few dollars from last week, but I'll pay you just as soon as I get a winner. Max, burnt toast is the best hunch I've had in months. He'll walk in. Max. Max, are you there? Max. Chintzy.
Come home, Mom. I invited Peggy over for dinner, okay?
That's nice. We have plenty. Did you have a hard day?
Hard day. One for the books. Oh. Mom, come here.
I can't right now. I'm fixing dinner.
Now, Mom, come on. So you hopped it again. Another sure thing, I suppose.
But, Don, dear, you don't get a hunch like this every day.
Well, let's hope not. What was it this time?
It just came right out of the blue. I was sitting there crocheting.
Crocheting? You mean doing your homework?
And then suddenly I smelled something burning in the kitchen. And I ran in and opened the broiler. And guess what? Burnt toast.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Uh-huh. A long shot, too. Oh, I just knew he'd win. He'd have to fall down to lose.
All right. What happened?
He fell down.
What else? Oh, look, Mom, I hate to gripe at you all the time, but all these wild hunches of yours are keeping me broke.
I'll make it up to you, Don. You wait and see. One of these days I'll hit the jackpot. Why, I've got a hunch that...
I've got more than a hunch. We're going to hear the fights tonight. I better catch Peggy before she leaves. Hello, honey? No hurry about dinner. Only if you want to hear fights, you better bring your own radio. Yep. Mom did it again.
Penny for your thoughts.
Oh, I was just thinking how much more fun it'd be to do dishes if we were married, settled in our own home.
Yeah.
2 cents for yours.
I was just wondering how a bride would look, all dressed in black.
Black?
By the time we get around to marching down the aisle, I'll be too old to look good in anything but black.
I know how you feel, all right. It's getting me down, too. But I would like to be able to get ahead enough to support a wife. Hey, you will wait for me, won't you?
Of course I will. But not forever. You're going to have to be a millionaire to take care of a wife and a mother and half the bookmakers in this fair city. You better have a little chat with Mom.
That's all I've done for the last 10 years. I hate to bawl her out all the time. It's kind of like a disease with Mom. She actually believes these crazy hunches. Say, it would be kind of funny, though. Someday she really did pick a big winner. What do you suppose she'd do? so.
Perfect. I did it. I knew I could do it. They drew my number.
Through what number? What are you talking about?
In the Irish sweepstakes, they drew my number. It's in the paper.
Let me see. Holy smoke, look, Peg.
It's the same number, all right. How much do you win?
£100,000 if my horse comes in. Don, what do you think about my hunches now? We're rich.
Oh, now, take it easy, Mom. Your horse hasn't come in yet.
Oh, but it will. It's in the bag. Oh, Don, we'll make a lot of money because everybody whose number is drawn wins something.
Yeah, I know, Mom, I know. But let's not lose our heads now. Let me read this thing carefully.
It's just wonderful, Mom. I'm so happy for you.
Well, I don't know why I was so surprised. I knew it had to happen. That was the best hunch I ever had. You see, my dear, I was sweeping out the pantry while I was cooking some steaks. Then suddenly it came to me like a flash. I put the two together, and I got sweet steaks. Get it? Sweepstakes. That was the time I pawned on shotgun.
Mom, did you read here the horse you've drawn?
Of course. Skylark.
But, Mom, that's the favorite.
I know. I guess birds must be good luck for me. I had my ticket hidden in my cuckoo picture.
That's a cockatoo.
Well, it's a bird, isn't it? I tell you, we can't lose with a perfect hunch like this.
100,000 pounds. Well, that's $300,000 or more.
Yes, I know. I've got it all figured out. I'm going to give you children the biggest wedding this neighborhood has ever seen. Buy you a home of your own. You a fleet of trucks so you can be your own boss.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Mom.
I know what I'm doing, Don. You're quitting your job the first thing in the morning.
I'm not going to quit my job. And you're not going to buy me any truck. Oh, I want to get somewhere, all right, but under my own steam. Not riding on any horse in the Irish sweepstakes.
Now, you listen to me. You're quitting your job in the morning.
Yeah, I remember this old dame. I've been selling her tickets for the last 5 years. So what?
How stupid can you get? This racket has been foolproof for one reason only. None of our tickets could ever come up, because the numbers are different from the real ones.
I still can't see what you're beefing about, Eddie. So the old dame finds out that she's got a bad ticket. So what?
So you don't think she'll squawk, eh? Holler cop. I can see the front pages now. City flooded with phony sweepstake tickets. There goes our gravy. Why, we wouldn't be able to sell our tickets for 2 bits a carload next year.
Sorry, boss. I never thought about that.
You never thought, period.
Think we're all washed up?
We are, unless we get that ticket back.
What do you want us to do, boss?
Nothing. I'll handle this deal myself.
Mrs. Kirby, how do you do? Congratulations on your good fortune. All right, boys, bring it right in. Mrs. Kirby, my name is Gibson, Willard Gibson. I represent the Drake department store. Now, where would you like your new television? Let me see. Right over there, I think would be fine.
Oh, I didn't order television.
Oh, just part of the Drake Super Service. We want you to be extremely happy and have the best. We put everything in free, and you understand, a 30-day trial with absolutely no obligations whatever. And if you're dissatisfied and you don't care for it, we take it out and replace it with another. All right, boys, bring in the refrigerator.
Refrigerator?
Oh, yes, you're going to be delighted with it. And the same terms and no obligations whatsoever.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that is just the beginning. Let's see now the piano. Oh, yes, the piano right over there. Of course, all this furniture will have to go out. By the time we get through here, you won't recognize the place. Oh, I want to see your kitchen. Mom!
Come in here. Hello, children. Well, how do you like it?
Beautiful.
But, Mom, ordering all this stuff. Have you gone nuts?
Oh, I didn't order it. Drake sent it over for us to try. It didn't cost a cent. But if you don't like it, we can send it back.
Oh, I like it fine. Only what happens if your horse doesn't come in? That could happen, you know. In fact, it usually does.
Don't you worry about that money. It's just as good as in the bank. Besides, that nice man from Drake said there was absolutely no obligation.
I've heard that one before. All right, it's their funeral. Now let's talk about ours.
Funeral?
Well, it could be. I just lost my job.
Oh, no, son, you didn't lose your job.
Well, that's what the man said. I'm through.
You quit. I called them up down there and told them that you were through, going in business for yourself.
Oh, Mom, not that.
Just that. And did I tell them all? And then I called the truck agency and ordered your truck. Do you think that one truck will be enough?
The way I feel right now, a kiddie car and a pair of roller skates would be enough. All right, Peg. Call off the engagement. Anybody who would marry into this family would have to be crazy.
Oh, that must be the man about my driving lessons.
Driving lessons?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mammoth Motors is sending over several models in the morning. Oh, absolutely no obligation, of course. Do you think one of those low foreign jobs would be too show-offy for a woman of my age?
Mrs. Kirby?
Oh, come in, won't you?
Thank you.
This is my son, Donald, and his fiancée, Miss Dawson.
How do you do?
Would you like to begin after dinner, or shall we wait till morning?
Begin what?
Oh, my driving lessons, of course. You are from the driving school, aren't you?
Oh, I'm afraid not. My name is Mercer, Mrs. Kirby.
Oh, another reporter, I'll bet.
No, not guilty. I'm a gambler.
Mr. Mercer, I'm delighted. A real gambler.
Well, I don't live off of card tables and dice. My gambling is in more legitimate fields, such as buying up worthless desert land and taking a chance there's oil in it. That's why I'm here.
I'm sorry, mister. We don't have any desert land to sell.
But you do have a sweepstake ticket. About the same thing, isn't it? Since the odds are so high against ever cashing in.
Oh, but not in my case. You see, I drew the favorite.
Well, take it from me, Mrs. Kirby. Betting on favorites is the surest way that I know of going broke.
What are you getting at, mister?
Well, like I said, I'm a gambler. I'll give you $5,000 cash right now for your ticket.
I should say not. Why, that ticket could win $300,000.
And it could win nothing. Or haven't you considered that? $5,000 in the hand is not a bad profit on a $2.50 ticket, Mrs. Kirby.
You see, I'm a bit of a gambler myself, Mr. Mercer. And when I have a hunch, I play it to win.
Well, I'll give you a call tomorrow. You may change your mind.
Not a chance.
You may want to talk it over with your son. Oh, this is such an unscrupulous world. You might even lose that ticket. Someone might steal it. A lot of unscrupulous people about, I'm sorry to say. Well, you'll hear from me. Goodbye now.
The nerve of that guy offering us chicken feed for a $300,000 ticket.
$5,000 isn't chicken feed. It's a lot of money. And no gamble at all.
Don't you think you ought to take it? That way Don would be sure of getting his truck.
Oh, my dear child, I never forgive myself when you're in a winning streak. That's the time to shoot the works. I tell you, I'm hot. Peggy, I'm sizzling. Whoopee! Get your hats and coats and let's go out to dinner.
I've got a better idea. Let's all go down to the psychopathic ward and give ourselves up.
Interested, Mrs. Kirby. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just to prove to you that I'm a real sport, I'm going to double that offer. What do you say to $10,000? What? That's an awful lot of money to turn down on a hunch, Mrs. Kirby. Well, suppose you think it over and give me a ring, huh? Capital 6550. That's right. Goodbye, Mrs. Kirby. Stubborn old witch.
No soap, huh?
She would have to be one of those dumb hunch players.
10 grand's a pile of moolah, just to get a bum ticket back.
Yeah? That's buttons if I can keep the cops out of this. We've been averaging $200,000 a year pushing those phony sweepstake tickets.
Supposing she just won't sell.
She'll sell. I'll go as high as 25 grand if I have to. If she can't turn that down, I'm going to get these whiskers off.
Come on, Don. Don't want to keep Peggy waiting. It's almost 7 o'clock.
Okay, Mom. I'm almost ready.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Max. They're running tomorrow? What kind of birds? Yes? Yes? Uh-huh. I like them all, Max. I tell you what I'll do. I'll play a 3-horse parlay. $50 to win and let it ride. That's right. On Robin Hood, Cuckoo Clock, and Old Crow. And thanks for letting me know, Max. Goodbye.
Is Tyler all right? Didn't I hear the phone?
Wrong number.
Hey, what do you say we try some different chow tonight? Italian food. Chop suey. Maybe some seafood, huh? What do you say?
Well, I like them all. Why don't you let Peggy decide?
Well, come on, let's go. I'm hungry enough to eat a horse.
Surely we can afford a better place than that.
And while the Kirbys were having dinner out, they had a visitor. A visitor who came and went.
What's the idea of getting me out of bed at this hour?
Don't get steamed up, Eddie. I got some big news for you. Yeah, your worries are over.
What's this?
It's a phony ticket. I pinched it. I saved you 25 grand.
You pinched it.
Yeah. And what a hard time I'm trying to find it. The old babe, she had it hid in a big picture. Hey, what's the idea?
You big lug. I ought to really let you have it. Do you know what you've done?
You wanted the ticket, didn't you? This way you don't have to buy it. Now, what's wrong with that?
I've tried every angle that I know of to keep the cops out of this, and you go out and do the one thing that's sure to bring them in. Oh, I can hear that old biddy hollering cops now.
It's gone! My sweepstake ticket!
Get me the police.
The case was referred to me because, plainly, there was something of a mystery here. What could anybody hope to gain by stealing a sweepstakes ticket officially registered in another person's name?
We left the whole room just as we found it. That was right, wasn't it, Captain?
Well, it's a pretty good rule. Whoever did this certainly was determined to get hold of that ticket.
You've got to find that ticket, Captain. The race is the day after tomorrow, and I feel sure my horse is going to win.
Oh, funny that you haven't heard anything from the sweepstakes officials.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Are you sure you don't know the man who sold you the ticket?
Not his name. I'd know him if I saw him. I buy tickets from him every year.
Any idea where we can locate him?
He always came to the house.
That's not much of a lead, is it?
If we'd have had any sense, we'd have listened to Peggy and taken that guy's offer. At least we'd have gotten 10,000 out of it.
Wait a minute. Somebody wanted to buy that ticket from you?
Yes, he offered us $5,000. Then he phoned the next day and raised it to 10. Naturally, I turned him down.
Who was that man? Did you know him?
We never saw him before. They said he was a gambler. What was his name?
Mercer, I think.
Mercer. I'd like to have a talk with him. Do you know where he lives?
No, he never said.
But didn't he leave his phone number yesterday when he called?
Yes, he did. Oh, I put it around here someplace. Now, oh, what did I do with that? Oh, somewhere around here. I wonder if it could be over... Why, yes, here it is.
Do you mind if I use your telephone? Hello, get me police headquarters. Give me Lieutenant Connors, please. Hello, Connors, this is Braddock. Put a tracer on this number, will you? Capital 6550.
Ah, another scratch. You'd think the folks would be more careful of other people's property.
Look, Buster, one more crack and I'll rearrange that silly face. And no obligation whatsoever.
Barbarians.
Hurry up, you guys. And when you get finished, meet me at the airport.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder why anybody would build a fire with Irish sweepstakes tickets. And on a warm day like this, too. Not the talkative type, huh? Well, I'm sure these tickets will do enough talking to send you away for quite a spell.
You got nothing on us. There's no law against burning sweepstake tickets.
There is against selling them. Especially when they're phony, like the one you sold Mrs. Kirby.
You know, Copper, I read in the paper that somebody stole that ticket. So how are you going to prove that it was phony if you can't produce it?
You know, that's a pretty good question. But I've got an even better answer. I've already done it.
Who are you trying to bluff? You can book us, but you can't make it stick if you don't have that ticket.
Oh, I'll make it stick, all right. You see, I've got a cablegram at headquarters that definitely proves Mrs. Kirby's ticket was counterfeit.
What do you mean, a cablegram?
I know you people think all cops are stupid. As a matter of fact, it didn't call for too much brilliance on my part to cable Dublin and find out the truth. It might interest you to know that the sweepstakes people never heard of Mrs. Kirby, and the genuine ticket with her number on it was sold to a school teacher in New South Wales. All right, take him away. I've still got a little chore to do. Hello, Mrs. Kirby. Well, this is Captain Braddock. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Max. Oh, hold on just a minute, please. I've got more bad news for you. I owe Max $50 on a three-horse parlay.
Okay. Tell him I'll pay him some way.
Hello, Max. You'll get your money just as soon as... What? Yes? No. Yes? No. Old Crow, too? All three came in. I win what? $2,208 and...
Hold it, men.
I win! $2,200.
Bring everything back in, boys. With no obligations whatsoever.
Oh, Don, now you can have your truck. A whole fleet of trucks if you want them.
I don't want a whole fleet. I only want one. But I'll only take that on one condition.
What's that?
That you take a solemn vow never to bet on another horse race.
Don't you want me to have any fun?
Fun? Do you think it's fun for me to have to bail you out of the bookies every payday? Is it fun to keep me waiting year after year to marry the girl I'm crazy about? I'm mad. It may be fun for you, but for Peggy and me, it's only a pain in the neck. Well, you could have a dozen of these parlays come in and we'd still be way behind. Anyhow, I don't want that kind of money. Now, how's about it?
I see what you mean. I've just been a selfish old woman, never thinking about you or Peggy. If you'll just let me buy that truck for you, I promise I'll never bet on another hunch, even if a bird of paradise comes in.
That's my mom talking.
Mine, too. One I've always loved.
Hey, what's wrong with this picture? You're supposed to be hugging me.
So unlike most cases involving gambling, this one had a reasonably happy ending, at least for the Kirby family. Don and Peggy are married now, and he's doing fine in his new trucking business. Max, the bookmaker, isn't doing so well. He's doing time, along with Mercer and his mob. Let me remind you that while horse betting is lawful in certain states under certain conditions, lotteries of any kind are strictly illegal in this country. Now, this counterfeit ticket racket is especially difficult to combat because both the buyer and the seller are breaking the law. Obviously, the buyers of such tickets are rather hesitant about reporting such matters to the police. So just remember that the next time you feel like taking such a flyer. And remember this, too. It could happen to you. In this case now, or rather the courts will, but there'll be others, because that's the way the world is built. Remember, there are people who can slap you on the back with one hand and pick your pocket with the other. And it could happen to you. See you next week, same time, same station.